one of those.
It might seem strange to hear now, but not long ago, state aid rules were one of the main arguments the Conservative Party gave for being in the European Union. We wrote these rules in the 1980s to prevent the French and Germans bailing out their industries. Roll on to today, and the government says ditching the rules is a key argument why it's countenancing a no-deal Brexit. Why? So it says it can support companies like this. Wejo, a start-up which works with data from cars, was given government support, a form of state aid, which helped it get through the pandemic.
We're helping cities reduce their emissions, for example, so we're much broader than just being a medium-sized employer in the Northwest. We're actually adding value back. Without the government support, we would have had to go through some significant sort of cost reductions in the business. So that support meant that we could continue to scale up.
That kind of thing was allowed within EU state aid rules, but it was these rules which prevented the government bailing out British Steel when it collapsed in 2018. After all, they're designed to prohibit the propping up of failing companies. That, says this former advisor to Theresa May, was actually a good thing.
They're trying to get rid of something that probably mostly improves policy. Those kind of subsidies are bad for the economy as a whole. They're bad for interstate competition. And on the whole, what you do as a result of having those freedoms is you put politicians in charge of decisions to bung money at companies, and they'll bung it at the companies that are politically attractive, not necessarily the ones that will generate a prosperous future for everyone.
Another tech company, which uses AI to help engineers carry out remote tests, says while state aid in a Brexit deal is important, it's not the only thing.
For us, Brexit matters in two ways. EU regulations with regard to GDPR and data security are obviously, in case of a no-deal Brexit, a bit of an issue for us to keep operating. And the second one is that I think a large part in the team come from the EU. I'm assuming that access to people and being part of the common market is probably more important than the government funding.
The dream, at least of some in Downing Street, is to set up a trillion-dollar tech company, such as we see in Silicon Valley in the UK. Economists insist there's nothing in the state aid rules to prevent Britain from doing precisely that anyway. Whether most Britons see a no deal as a price worth paying for a shot at having the next Facebook or Google remains to be seen. Ed Conway, Sky News.